Hi everybody, Colin here again, just giving you your next installment. Um, what I would like to stress before we start, this particular um, video is about AI, artificial intelligence. It's something that you really do need to watch to the very end. I'm not just saying that. I'm only going to give the content instead of and try and keep the videos reasonably in a short period. But this AI is the notes that I had of an AI seminar that I attended last year. It's the one not to miss because it's the one that gives you what the broker and all these big major companies know about you, the trader, no matter how big, how small. Okay. The seminar started just with the company introducing themselves, and they also and passed it across to a brokerage in Switzerland who used their system. He gave a half an hour talk on how it benefited his brokerage and how things have changed within the whole. Well, they were Forex and equities, and how he was explaining how it changed their brokerage completely. So I'm going to share as much of both of the company that uses it, plus what the developers had basically said. So it started off with the main talk from the company, and the first thing they said was AI, artificial intelligence. What is it? And he tried to explain it in sort of layman terms, that this multi-computer, even though it's not a computer, I'll go into that a wee bit later, but this multi-computer could process a different type of processing. The computer continually learns all the time. It can reason of what it's doing, and it problem solves. So it's very good at problem solving. The guy who's doing the chat said it was like if you got every trader to trade against each other in the world, and the top traders were left, and they traded against each other till one last person was standing. Well, in the meantime, the AI would be learning everything of those particular movements. They would also learn the whole way until there was one particular trader left. And he says that's when the AI would take it upon itself to beat that trader. And he said that that trader would be eventually beaten by the learning process of the AI. Now that statement alone was very, very concerning. Before I went to this, I always sort of thought, what does the brokers really know? What does all these companies really know about us, the traders? And I'm saying us, the traders, because it affects each and every one of us. I've certainly noticed massive changes in the markets over the last 2 years, and more so from Christmas 2 years ago, and then a real tightening of the screw about the start of this new year. There's just things that are being done a lot differently. So, and I always wondered, you know, do these supercomputers work, or are they effective? Well, he pretty much told that within the Forex market, which is the biggest trading market in obviously the world, serious amount of monies go through brokerages and banks, etc., every day. It was amazing what I was able to learn, and there was a question and answer at the very end, and even in the opening 15 minutes, I wanted to ask questions. I actually wrote down different things, and I finally got answering one, because a lot of the questions that I was asked or wanted to ask was being asked by the room of about 200 people. So what does it know? What does AI know? Now, It knows, basically, I'm reading here from my notes, it knows all the traders' trading plans. So whatever plans and that each trader would have throughout the world, there's so many out there, obviously. It knows, and it develops them. It knows all the different types of traders, which is a big thing. Now, they said it knows the 4 types of traders that there is out there. I would actually go on to say there's actually a 5th type of trader, and I'll come back to that in a wee bit. The different types of traders that they talked about was the scalper, the day trader, the swing trader, and the positional trader. Okay, and they say that the actual algorithms of the AI, it does all of these things. Remember I told you about it. It continually learns, it reasonings, it's problem solving. But it said it actually, there's a deep learn process that goes on with every trader, and I'll come back to this in a wee second. But it's also self-aware of what each trader does, and it actually knows the emotional side of the trader. So it reads emotions. Believe it or not, that is a scary, scary thing. To me, that's like, futuristic. But this is what he said. It says it's of every trader, it's deep learning that trader. It's self-aware of that trader, and it reads emotions. So the likes of the scalping trader, it knows that that person is in front of the computer a lot, is a more of a risky trader. It does a high level of trades. That person does a high level of trades. That trader trades on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and possibly the 15 minute. It knows the scalper's behavior. The day trader, it knows that the day trader is in front of the computer probably 30 minutes to 2 hours per day. Number of trades between 0 and 5 trades a day. Usually trades the 30 minute, the 60 minute, or even the 4 hour chart. Wee bit more or less riskier trader than the scalper, but is prepared to take risks. The swing trader. The swing trader, it knows that you'll be in front of the computer for 30 to 1 hour per day. Normally trades about 1 to 3 trades possibly a day, but knows they are a low risk trader. Usually trades the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. But this type of trader will, like the day trader, it knows stops. It uses stops and trailing stops. It knows, especially trailing stops. This is the new thing with algorithms, that when you trade up or bring your position, your stop up to the next level, it knows how just by 1 bar sweeping down, taking that out, and giving you, even though it gives you profit, it stops you from making even more profit. But I'll go into these in a wee bit more detail. Then we've got the positioning trader. They're between 0 minutes and 30 minutes per day. That particular type of trader does a lot of research, knows all the fundamentals. It's a very patient trader, and is a long-term trader, and a good usually a strong-minded trader. So that particular trader would possibly trade the 4 hour daily, and even weekly. So what does it actually know individually about these traders? I'm going to say something here that actually pretty much took my breath away, and I've always wondered. Basically what the algorithm knows, the AI knows, it knows every trader. All these brokers pass their risk on to the main institutes. Every broker does that, so they're spreading the risk. So they are actually connected to these bigger brokers, So let's say we're with FX Pro. Well, they share all my information to the bigger brokers, and I've always wondered, because I would take trades, and then when I close it, it's broken up to 3, maybe 4, sometimes 2, sometimes 1. It's always broke up to maybe 4 trades and different percentages, maybe 50% for one, 1.5, 1.5, and 2 for another, to give you the 100%. And it's spread out in that way so that the risk is put onto them. The brokers and the big banks and institutes, they all make money no matter what. They make money if you win, they make money if you lose. They obviously want you to lose, because then they're making more money. So that information is out there. Data, if everybody, if millions and millions and millions of traders, is all known to these AIs. So what does it know? Well, I can tell you now, and this is what everybody was told. It knows, for start, which one of those 4 you actually fall into. Now, just before I go on anymore, I said I really think there's a 5th type of trader, and there is a 5th type of trader, and that trader is basically all of the above. The trader that doesn't have the plan, he doesn't know to scalp one day, he doesn't know to trade, day trade the next day, or swing trade. He just does a bit of everything. He just hasn't really got a plan, or he thinks he has a plan, but he hasn't got a plan. That's what I call, and they love that type of trader. He didn't go into that type of trader because I know somebody would have asked for statistics on that type of trader. Somebody who just really goes in and doesn't have a plan and just goes into trades hoping that it's going to go that way, and have a 50-50 chance of it is going to go that way, and they take the gamble, and they eventually lose pretty much their pot. As we all know, it's somewhere in between. It's conflicting wherever you hear from on the internet. It's between 80% and 95% of people consistently eventually losing their pot. It could be over a short period of time, could be over a very long period of time. But that's that 5th one that I always talk, or I think, that there is. But all these other traders, they actually love the 5th type of trader. But all of these traders, the AI learns from it. Okay, so what does it know? It knows the trader's risk tolerance. It knows the trader's patience, how patient the person is or not. It can tell the trader's experience level. Believe it or not, this is all true. Traders' discipline, so how disciplined they are to their plan. Traders' technical analysis, the traders' fundamental analysis. It knows the most likely traders' time frames that they trade on, and most importantly, it knows the traders' pressure levels. So how much pressure needs to be put on for that trader to basically hit the stop button and get out with a loss, or whatever it may be. It might be that that they've ultra pressure levels where they don't get out at all, or they just let it run their course. It knows all these things. It needs to know all these things. The other thing that was very much touched upon was that on the Friday close to the Sunday opening, the AI within an hour or so can basically say where all the positions are. Now within an hour, that is one massive mega computer. If it knows all the positionings of all the pairs and where they are, and that's why over the last while I've really seen it, that there's been big gaps between Friday close and the Sunday opening. And the guy actually said, it was so cocky when he said this. He says that traders never question why there's a gap of 100 pips of a difference, and there has been recently gaps of 100 plus pips I've seen in the last 3 months of Friday, between Friday and Sunday opening. And he says these computers know exactly where to open up to take the stops out of all those people who are in the trades. That's, believe it or not, they make a serious amount of money on that opening, the Sunday night opening. He says that for some brokers, that's where they make the most of their money. The highest percentage of their money is made on the opening on Sunday because of the gaps in the market. Now, I never used to see that sort of gaps. You might have seen 15, 20 years ago. Now we're talking 100 plus. There was 1 week where it opened, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it opened, and for no reason every pair was like about minimum, but sort of between 50 and 100 pips of a difference on all the majors and some of the minors as well. And there was no reason for it. So the algorithm knows to do this. It wants to make life really difficult. It also shows people that, oh, maybe what they thought is actually, the market is actually changing. So instead of going up, it's now the big gap is suggesting it's going down, and people are going up, and they jump out automatically to find by the end of Monday that it's come back to where it was on Friday. So this is sort of things that it knows, and it really works on. The other thing that it knows is to try and push the market. So let's say the market, let's say if you're a Fibonacci trader, for example, that's what was used, and the daily or whatever time frame has came and it's hit the let's say the 61.8. Eventually it's hit it. It's maybe went side roads. It's maybe went to the 50, then down to the 38, and then back to the 50, and then eventually goes to 61. And that's where a lot of traders would normally get in, wait for a downward movement if it was going up, and if they see that, they jump in thinking it's now starting to go to the day extension, just to find that it then goes to the 78%. I prefer the 78 than the 76, to be honest. It's more of a Fibonacci number, and a lot of the professional traders would see the 78 more than the 76. But it's even now going to the 88%. I even seen a trade or a pair that went about 10 pips on the daily to the A again. Didn't break it, but still went 10 pips. Could you imagine? That's probably a 99% retracement. So yes, if it does a 99% retracement, you know where it's going to then. It's not going to the 161.8. It's not doing that. It's probably going to the 12% or 18% Fibonacci number. That's 112 or 118. Might get to the 1.27. Unlikely though, if it goes to 91%. But what I'm trying to say to you here is that by that time it goes down to 99% of a retracement. All the damage is done. There's absolutely nobody there that was going north or is in anymore. They've took all the stop losses out, or they've pressurized people who don't use stops out. Okay, so this algorithm knows. The other thing is that the guy talked about was sideward movement, and I've certainly had noticed this slightly before then, but I've noticed it really a lot since then, because what the market does is that it does this sideward movement and then makes a move, then does a sideward movement and then does a move. Let's say that it's on an up. I know this is not a good example. I probably could give you a better example, but look at the sideward movement on these. And these sideward movements are for and they came down to. The sideward movement is to confuse the market. It's also binary options. It's needed for binary options, and that's why they do this. They make more money out of it, because it can go sideways. Even though it's going up, it's doing all this sideward movement, and it's look amount of reds in that sideward movement of something that's going up. So it just shows you that it confuses the market. It really does confuse the market, and you're going to see that sideward movement. Not unless you're trading long term, where you're just sort of going in once a day to take a look at a trade that's on a 4-hour chart, and you're in the direction of the trend. You really don't see it. But the lower you go, especially on the 1 hour, we see a lot of sideward movement. Here's an example on the 1 hour in the euro. Okay, we had an uptrend coming up and had a lot of resistance around this area. You can clearly see it, but look at the sideways movement of this before it eventually continued on up. You're not seeing the big trends, but this is, you can see there, that's a nice move to the north there. But a lot of people at this area here would have said that this move was over and started to go into its south, because it was showing all the signs and telltales of something going south. And it was still going south here. Believe it or not, to the trader, it was looking like there's 2 days there ready to go south, and then bang, goes north again and takes all those ones out that are going south. So this is what algorithm is all about. I've noticed that if I was equity trading or futures or indices, I'd probably do a lot better than what I do in Forex. But as soon as I'm in. I wait till I see the certain change, and then I'm really looking for a place to get into. And I've been very fortunate where, if you've seen the last video, I'm hitting it out of the park. But you have to be 100% sure now, and that's like, for somebody who is in the game a long time and whose performance level is incredible. I don't blow my own trumpet. I'm a very humble person, but my track record and my building ability of an account is incredible. But over the last few months, I've really seen a massive change. I've had to rethink things, and yes, I'm still doing well, but you just have to make sure now, or what you can do is you can declare that went up further, then came back down, so people would have been in there, and then went back up further, then went side roads, and people would have been in going south here, and it went up again. So if you weren't knowing the direction of the trend, you were absolutely being hammered there. So you have to know what you're doing. If you're one of these traders that has a bit of a plan and is barely getting by, or just getting by, life is going to become even increasingly more difficult for you. AIs, they just basically know exactly what everybody's doing. To continue on, it knows the positional trader wants to get all of the move. When he trades, he wants to get all of the moves, all of the trade, all of the move. The swing trader, well, he wants the directional. So if he thinks that this is on a buy, okay, what he wants to do is let's see if I can go to the start of this. So let's say it starts here, right? He's getting this move going up here, right? And then he's waiting for the first area of resistance, which is here. This is the major area of resistance, and he knows that there's possibly going to be a retracement back coming. So he'll stay out. He'll be in here, or sorry, he'll be out here, and he'll be waiting for this move to the south. Okay, so if he thinks that's the move to the south, he then gets back in again here. You can see here where this area here, it keeps bouncing. Okay, so let's say he gets back in here and gets out of this move. He'll get out somewhere up here, get back in here. This is the ideal situation. Now this doesn't happen because I'll tell you why in a wee second. But he'll look to get out and then get back in here on this move to the north. He'll get out somewhere up in here, get back in again here probably to be taken out here. This is where we're talking about earlier on, about sporadic candles that comes down to take out the stop losses. Even though you've made money, they don't want you to get any more. So he gets back in again somewhere around here, gets out somewhere up here, waits for the move, back in, maybe back in somewhere around here or here to get that. But so he's only in one direction. He only wants the move. He doesn't want all the move. He just wants the move in the direction of the trend. Well, you know what the scalper wants. What the scalper wants is he wants just a wee bit of this. So if he thinks back here where we saw that area of resistance here, and he saw the bounce here, he'll want to sell it for maybe 5 pips or 10 pips or whatever it may be, and then he'll get out. And he thinks if this is bottomed out, he'll then maybe get into it on a buy. So he'll probably more than likely go in both directions. Secret is only go in the direction of the trend. Yeah, in the direction of the trend, you have nothing to worry about. But a scalper will go in both ways. There's no questions about that. Okay, what styles? Well, it knows every type of trading style. It's learnt every type of trading styles, and even it'll monitor for new types of trading styles. So those people who put in a moving average and a break of a moving average, so if they put a break of a moving average and came down and went down through here and they got out here, that's probably why, because they brought this retracement in, because the moving average would have been cut through while it came down further. So it knows all those things. It knows about wave trading, it knows about Fibonacci, it knows it pretty much knows all of them. It also finds out all about the different indicators that are out there. You know, you have your MACDs and all those sorts of things. It knows about all those there, and it tries to manipulate those as well. It knows like the likes of the trend line break trading, Fibonacci trading, news announcement trading. That's why you're seeing a lot of news announcements, which is brilliant news, and it goes as bad news, because the AI says, right, it's time to make money. Basically, there's a lot of people in. There's enough people in. Remember, I keep saying it, that each trade is taken. It knows the trades. The other thing that they have to remember is they use your money to make money. So they use the money that they've made from you to run their trades their way. Okay, so it just makes it more difficult. But in news announcements especially, it knows what to do. It sees that there's more people in it, in the way of the news. So what they do is they go the opposite way, enough to hurt people, and then maybe it does change back into the direction of the trend, or it doesn't. They know what to do. Also knows that what the long-term traders are doing. So I've seen recently where a trend that had taken off and was trending lovely for one news announcement that came down over 100 pips, and that was more than where it started. So that's basically to take those people out. They know where the stops are. They're really going after the stops. And that's, I mean, everybody knows the phrase stop hunting. So it knows all these things, and yes, it knows that there will be people that will be in the same direction as it. So people that are going against the trend or with the trend, but they've made it look like it's going the opposite way. So they know that, but they know that, and that'll always be the case because of the way Forex is, but they know that they have to get the majority of those people out, and if they don't get that trader the first time, they hopefully try and get them the next time. And that's what you're up against. You have your own mind, you have your own thoughts, you have your own reactions to what happens in the market, and your own plan that gives you a plan of which way to trade. But this thing knows exactly well in advance what it's going to do. If the majority of traders do this, I'm going to do this. If they're going to do that, I'm going to do this. So it knows. So that's why you have to be a smarter trader. You have to know. I'm quite lucky where I can sort of tell when things are happening. If I see a certain thing happening in the market, my gut tells me not to get in. And there's been a wee bit of that this month. I also had something happened that slowed my process a wee bit this month. Somebody trying to hack into my server, so I had a bit of a problem with that. But apart from that, I have been this month probably not as many trades, still 100% trade record, but there's just a few things happening in the market. And the other thing is also if your pair isn't trading and trending in the direction where it's meant to be, you don't get it. You don't be in it. You only be in it in the direction of the trend when it's trending. So you wait for them all. That's what I do. I wait for the line, it's set up, and then I'm in. So that's what it knows. It knows pretty much everything that traders do. It knows it has to lose some to win some, or to win the majority. And it is doing that, and the statistics are telling that between 80 and 95% of people eventually lose a large majority of their money. So I thought I would share that with you. Please like the video if you found something interesting. If you have any questions, something maybe I've left out, put it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and go and watch the other videos. This is a whole process of videos which is to learn and to make you a better trader. But at least knowing that they know what type of trader you are should send shivers. It certainly did when I was in the seminar. And I know one thing, I am even more cautious now, and I just make sure 100% that the market is moving, and I have ways of doing that, and it's been very successful. I've noticed also that there's more sort of drawdowns that you get into with these algorithms. I don't worry about them because it eventually comes back to the way of the trend. It always trends in the direction of the trend, and I always trade in the direction of the trend, so it always comes. But I've noticed that drawdowns are happening to everybody. So it's all about maybe the ad, or maybe about a different type of strategy that I will go into in another video that helps you win these types of trades. Okay, that's it for me. Happy trading, everybody. Bye for now.